Now at 10, a juvenile is arrested for the shooting death of a Galena, Kansas man. Plus, we'll learn about some new laws taking effect across the 4 states today. And pushback from some Southwest Missouri residents on a proposal to put a speed limit on truckers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Galena, Kansas arrested a minor in the shooting death of a 38-year-old man. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Snowy. It happened just after 2:15 this morning at the Village Circle Apartments near East 7th Street and State Line Road. Police say when officers responded, they found a juvenile male sitting on the stairs of the apartment building who told them a person had been shot on the 3rd floor. Officers found the victim, Christopher Story, dead in the apartment. The juvenile was arrested and taken to a juvenile detention center pending formal charges. Authorities say a Carl Junction man has died from injuries sustained in a crash last Friday. The crash happened after 6 a.m. Friday morning on Route M at State Highway 43, about 7 miles north of Oronogo. Authorities say 36-year-old Kevin Ford entered the intersection into the path of a semi, hitting the tractor trailer it was towing. The semi went off the road. Ford was taken to the hospital where he later died. And the driver of the semi was not hurt. The Kansas Commission on Judicial Conduct says a veteran judge in Montgomery County violated state judicial ethics rules. In November, the commission issued a cease and desist letter to Judge F. William Cullins, and it stems from a complaint filed by an attorney claiming Cullins attempted to influence a local judicial race in 2022. The complaint says Cullins asked another candidate to pursue a different judgeship, offering to have his wife donate the candidate's campaign if done so. This isn't Cullins' first disciplinary action. You can read about others on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
All right, we kicked off 2024 on the cold side, but we got the sunshine during the afternoon, so not bad. 38 is where we topped out. Started at 28 degrees. 45 is our average, so a little bit below where we should be for this time of the year. And it's going to be chilly as we go through the week. You can see some mid and upper level clouds in our far western counties. These will start to increase after midnight for us tonight. We're going to stay dry, but we are going to get those clouds into the region. So as we go through the night, 20s, overnight low of 26, mostly cloudy to kick off your Tuesday. Of course, most people go back to work. Staying chilly this week. We are tracking rain, possibly snow on Friday, a bigger system on Tuesday, rain, also possibly some snow. We're going to have all these details here in just a little bit.
All right, Doug, thanks. The new year means new laws are going into effect in the 4 states. In Missouri, the big change is an increase to the minimum wage. Workers in the Show Me state are now guaranteed at least $12.30 per hour. That's up from last year's rate of only $12. Tipped employee wages are now $6.15 per hour, up from $6 flat. These increases come from a 2018 amendment passed by voters to gradually raise the minimum wage to $15 per hour in 2026. In Kansas, the sales tax on groceries is dropping. The second phase of the Acts Food Tax Act takes effect, cutting the sales tax on groceries from 4% to 2%. Governor Laura Kelly says it will result in $150 million in tax relief to residents. The final phase of the act will eliminate the tax in 2025. And in Oklahoma, there's a new family caregiver tax credit. It's designed to cover expenses related to caring for family members who are at least 62 years old and require help with the daily activities. The credit is capped at $2,000 unless the family member being cared for is a veteran or has been diagnosed with dementia. In that case, the cap is $3,000. Well, federal safety regulators believe that they could save lives by requiring speed limiting devices on semi-trucks. As Charmel Adele reports, some want to stop it now, others are ready to green light it.
I feel like it keeps it fair and consistent for everyone. And in doing so, their supervisors, bosses, owners, or whatever, etc., will be able to monitor what they're doing.
Tom Sallows lives in Springfield. He says he witnesses trucks speeding all the time.
I've noticed that it's been several times that I'm either cut off by semi because they don't see me, and I feel like they're going too fast.
The DRIVE Act bill, which would limit the speed of tractor trailers, was proposed in the U.S. House back in May. At that time, Louis Pugh, vice president of the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association, explained to Congress how these limiters actually make roads less safe.
The problem with these speed limiters is it's a proven fact, and it's been proven over and over again. The traffic is the safest when all traffic is going the same speed, meaning cars, trucks, motorcycles.
Pugh says speed limiters could create even more interactions between cars and trucks. But a government agency identified speed as a significant factor in fatal crashes and speed management as a primary tool to reduce serious injuries and deaths.
The most important thing, be cautious of everybody.
In a congressional meeting held earlier this month, Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson defended truckers by speaking on the safety hazards speed limiters create. The bill has been referred to a subcommittee. Well, coming up, when Donald Trump could file his appeal to the Supreme Court in cases of states removing him from their ballots. Plus, why Israel is demobilizing some of its army reservists fighting in Gaza. Former President Donald Trump's legal team is expected to appeal the decision that removed him from the 2024 primary ballots in Colorado and Maine. That's according to a source familiar with the plans, which could happen as soon as tomorrow. The decisions to take Trump off the ballot are based on the 14th Amendment, which says officials who have, quote, engaged in insurrection are disqualified from holding office. Israel has begun demobilizing some of its reservists fighting in Gaza in order to give them a break and prepare for the long war ahead. In the war-torn territory, the Hamas-run health ministry says the death toll in Gaza is now close to 22,000 people. Michael George reports from New York.
Sirens ushered in the new year as the clock struck midnight in Israel. Instead of fireworks lighting up the night, a barrage of rockets was launched from Gaza towards Israel. They were intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system, causing explosions in the sky. No injuries were reported. Israel's military released footage of its K-9 unit operating in Gaza. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the war against Hamas, which began with a brutal attack on Israel on October 7th, will continue for many more months until Hamas is eliminated and the hostages returned. The new year brought fresh suffering to Palestinian civilians, including children. The Hamas-run health ministry says nearly 22,000 people have been killed since the war began, and many more are wounded. Amid the rubble, Palestinian artist Amal Abu al-Sabah paints murals depicting the terrible toll the war is taking on the besieged territory. She says artists should use difficult circumstances to express everything they feel inside. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Israel's withdrawal of reservists inside Gaza will allow some to return to civilian life and help bolster the community's economy. It would also free up units in case they are needed in the north if the conflict with Hezbollah in Lebanon expands. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un issued an order to his military leader if provoked. They are totally annihilate the United States and South Korea. The threat comes as North Korea is reportedly preparing to ramp up its missile test ahead of 2024, the presidential election. Kim also vowed to launch 3 additional military spy satellites, produce more nuclear material, and introduce attack drones in 2024. A powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake rocked western Japan earlier today, damaging buildings and leaving residents without power. The earthquake and more than a dozen smaller ones jolted Japan just hours into the new year. People in stores, offices, and subways felt the impact of the quakes, which collapsed houses, cracked roadways, and disrupted electricity.
And suddenly it gets pretty strong earthquake, and all the car is shaking. and so everybody was panicked that time.
The quakes caused a large fire in one city and prompted authorities to issue a major tsunami warning. That was later downgraded but still posed a threat. Officials warned evacuated coastal area residents to stay away amid fears of waves of up to 10 feet. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later we'll check out a fitness class kicking off the new year with a tough workout.
Well, cold start to the new year, but overall, a pretty good day. We did have clouds during the morning hours, sunshine this afternoon. It wasn't very windy. It was really nice. Here's a nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam, downtown Joplin, looking off toward the north and to the east. We are dry. We're going to stay dry as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Still cold. Overnight low down to 26. So we'll slide back through the 20s, back to 36 by 10 a.m. But notice a lot of clouds start to increase, especially late tonight into the morning hours for us tomorrow. We are still clear right now, but we do have that next little wave. You can see it kind of tracking out western Kansas, panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, down through parts of New Mexico and also Arizona. Now, it doesn't have a lot of moisture. It's mainly going to stay to our south, but it will give us clouds during the daytime hours on Tuesday. Right behind it, here's our first wave, stronger storm system out across the Pacific Northwest, and then right behind it, we have another storm system, high pressure and another area of low pressure right behind it, which means it's going to get pretty active as we go through the next week, which, hey, we need the rain. Haven't really had much snow, only about 1/4 of an inch. All right, mostly cloudy by morning, mid-20s. As we go through the morning, we warm near 40 by noon, so a little warmer on Tuesday than what we saw today. And I think most of us 43, 44 degrees for a high. Clear out briefly tomorrow evening. Clouds filter back in on Wednesday morning. Another cold start, mainly into the mid-20s. As we get into Wednesday afternoon, very similar to what we're going to see tomorrow. High temperatures, 42, 43, 44 degrees. Very consistent over the next couple days. 29 at 7, 41 by noon, 43 by 4, high temp of 44 degrees for us tomorrow. All right, let's look at that next wave. This is going to roll in early Friday morning. So on Thursday, just a lot of clouds, mid-40s. Here comes some light rain. Could start as snow. So this is Friday morning. Of course, we're right on that rain-snow line, so we'll have to see how it tracks out. It's not a super strong storm, but it looks like rain and snow showers lingering into Saturday morning. Now, with this system, doesn't have a lot of moisture, but we could get 2/10 of an inch of rain, maybe 3/10 of an inch of rain across the region. And again, we'll have some snow mixing in. Behind it, there's a stronger storm system. This is going to roll in next Monday, so in 6.5, 7 days. Showers, could even have thunderstorms on Monday, and then we need to track where's the snow going to move in, how much, and where's the exact track going to be by the time we get on the backside of that system. Quiet the next couple days, 44 for us tomorrow, 45 Wednesday, 46 on Thursday. Rain mixing with some snow on Friday into Saturday. Sunday looks good, rain possibly over to snow again on Monday and Tuesday of next week.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, runners in the four-state area started off their new year participating in Joplin's Chili 5K event. Around 300 participants took part in the race, and everyone was awarded a medal for their efforts. This year was the first year that leashed dogs were allowed to participate in the New Year's Day run.
I love the Chili 5K. This is actually the first, well, about 7 years ago, this is the first 5K I ever did, and I've been running it ever since for the past 7 years, so I love this race quite a bit.
It's just a great way to kick off the new year. It's a healthy way to start, and if you've got a resolution, it's a good way to stick with it, especially if it's something related to health and wellness.
The Chili 5K began at 10:15 this morning at the Cornell Art Complex and finished at the Joplin Family Y with a free kids run at the Family Y starting at 11. Everybody Fitness kicked off the new year today by inviting Joplin residents to a 2-hour straight hype energy exercise class. The event was designed to get people to ring in the new year with a lot of energy and motivation to get into that healthy lifestyle that many put on their New Year's resolutions. The class took place this morning from 10 a.m. to noon.
Yeah, so it is totally cliche to make the gym a New Year's resolution. The thing with that is really that so many people try to go in and do it by themselves, and that's why they fail. So they're going to the gym, they're wandering around all the machines, they're not really sure how to use the machines or which machines they're supposed to be using. So what we do is we create a group atmosphere where they can get accountability and camaraderie.
The class included exercises called Pound, Total Strength, and Kickboxing. Coming up in sports, Michigan and Alabama kick off the college football playoff. And 7 local high school football players get selected to the 2024 Kansas Shrine Bowl. John Bales has those stories and more up next.
Several of the top high school football seniors in Southeast Kansas get a great start to the new year this morning, being selected to the 2024 Kansas Shrine Bowl. The high school football all-star game features 88 of the top high school seniors in the state, with rosters chosen by some of the top coaches in Kansas. This morning, 7 seniors from Southeast Kansas received the exciting news that they will be playing in the Shrine Bowl this June. Now here's the full list of local players selected to the game in alphabetical order, starting with Parsons' Cade Brown, who makes it, along with Tucker Harrell from Colgan, Sam Hull from Humboldt, Peyton McDonald representing Frontenac, as well as Stetson Schaefer from Cherryville, Augustus Thurston from Chanutes, and Caden White from Coffeyville. Now the game will be played at Emporia State's Welch Stadium on June 29th. Over to college football. The first night of 2024 features 2 of the biggest games of the season. Now tonight is the semifinal round of the college football playoff, the evening beginning with top-seeded Michigan facing number 4 Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Now at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, Jim Harbaugh and his Wolverines taking on Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide in the college football semifinal. Winner advances to the championship game. First quarter, no score until Jace McClellan rushes up the middle and down the sideline all the way to the house for a 34-yard touchdown. Alabama leading 7-0. Later in the first, Michigan down 7-0, and J.J. McCarthy finds Blake Corum all alone for an 8-yard touchdown. Game tied up at 7. Michigan leading by 3 at half. Early fourth quarter, still up 3. Michigan allows a touchdown to McClellan. Alabama up now 7 late in the fourth quarter, but Michigan with the answer again. McCarthy finds Roman Wilson. We're tied at 20. We're going to overtime. Now in the extra session, Michigan with the ball first. There's Blake Corum again rushing up the middle. 17-yard touchdown. Corum's 56th touchdown as a Wolverine. That sets a Michigan record. They're up by 7 now. So Alabama needs a touchdown to keep the game alive, down by 7, and on 4th and goal, Jalen Milrose stuffed. Michigan wins 27-20 in overtime and will head to the national championship. So Michigan advances to the national title game next week and will face the winner of this game, the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans between Texas and Washington. First appearance in the college football playoff for Texas. Washington, been here once before. The Huskies lost their only college football playoff game by 17. That was in 2016 against Alabama. Over to the NFL, the Chiefs clinched their 8th consecutive AFC West title with a win over the Bengals at home. Late last night, the defending Super Bowl champs found out what day and time their final regular season game will be. Now this Sunday, the Chiefs go on the road to SoFi Stadium to face the Chargers. That much they've known for a while, but last night, KC finds out the game's going to be played at 3:25 on Sunday. A lot on the line for several teams across the NFL entering Week 18. Not so much for the Chiefs. They know they're guaranteed to have the 3 seed in the AFC. Kind of nice for the Chiefs to not have that to worry about. Yeah. They know where they're going to be. They know they're in the playoffs. They know they're going to have a home game.
Already, absolutely. Well, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this. A snow monstrosity named Snowzilla is back in an Alaska neighborhood, and along with it, old traditions, some dating back more than 20 years. Jeremy Roth explains in today's Take a Look at This.
For the first time in a decade, and just in time to greet another new year, a towering, friendly-faced, snowflakey figure has returned to Anchorage, Alaska.
We're looking at a giant Godzilla snowman.
Yep, part Godzilla, part snowman. It's
Snowzilla.
Snowzilla! Snowzilla! All right, we get it. Well, there must have been some magic in that big old hat they found, for when they placed it on Snowzilla's 25-foot-high head, folks came from miles around, lining up to get a pic for the first time since the huge holiday figure went on a 10-year hiatus. One family celebrated the return, recreating a nearly 20-year-old Kodak moment.
When we took this picture, we never imagined that, 20 years later, we got pictures of the kids again.
Older and wiser, striking an updated Pozilla with an updated Snowzilla, who's back, bigger, and better than ever. While those Frosty fans were ringing it in, these animals were running it back. The Oakland Zoo in California put out a literal look back at 2023 with a compilation of some of their residents snacking through the year, only in reverse. I don't know if we necessarily needed a weird time warp of the wild and woolly wetting their whistles, but it sure is mesmerizing. And hey, they say you can't move forward without looking back. In this case, with a snack. Finally, from those stunning digestive pyrotechnics to just some stunning pyrotechnics from New Year's celebrations. Hope you had prosperity and glee in 23, and here's to even more in 24. Happy New Year, everyone. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Let's check back in with Doug for a final look at the forecast.
All right, it's going to be a cold night for us tonight. We're going to drop back to about 25 or 26 degrees. A lot of clouds on your Tuesday, but temperatures a little bit warmer, near our normal high for this time of the year. 44, 45 Wednesday, 46 on Thursday. Rain, possibly mixing with some snow, rolling in Friday and Saturday.
Pretty chilly. I don't know. Final look at sports.
Yeah, after several of our local high school teams have been off for the holiday break, a bunch of them get back in action starting up tomorrow. It'll
be exciting to see. All right, thanks, John. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for making us part of your night.